Welcome to the Summer Retro Gaming Show. It's fucking hot again. Fucking hot again. There we go. Why is that going that way then? I had this all lined up and now it's not. It's pretty close. One thing I did notice is American C64s have much smaller vertical borders. They have practically none at the top and maybe a tiny strip on the bottom. So it's only the side borders actually, which I believe one of the reasons they put borders is so you could hide the sprites whilst they're on the screen. So this was the one-liner I was talking about actually. Look how fast my C64 disk drive is. There you go. No joke, it took me more than 20 minutes to find those fucking characters because they're on different combination of Shift and Commodore key. That's the whole thing. But, like I was saying, that would make a great little animation. No, we want 0, mate. And let's do the screen color too. And if you put them in green or something like that, there you go. And if you run it, now if you actually don't look at the bottom, they do actually look like they're moving across. There's a poke that shrinks the borders. You want to use that and then move the pixel offset register so it's at the absolute minimum. So this will increase by about 2 characters. This border, this one by 1. And you won't see this business at the bottom. So it does look good, I must admit. It does look like waves. Actually, the programmer in me in case we fuck it up, very easy to fuck things up when you're a programmer. As Hazel O'Connor famously said, you are a program. That's no good. Actually, I didn't want to do that, did I? What I need it to do is right, so if I type list there, it ends up 2 down. So it ends up there. So if I type list here, you get another one on top. Well, you won't be able to delete anything actually. I don't want to do them on separate fucking lines, and these are very difficult to find, actually, the exact thing that you need. Keyboard definitely needs cleaning on this one, so done that wrong. It's no good. Go. I have to find the one for this now. I suppose you could do the one before there, and you could hours of fun, not for you watching this, but anyway. There you go. That should work. So I'm trying to offset the waves a bit more. So it's like, and then like that. So maybe the peaks I don't really want to change. It was asterisk, I'm sure. Was it the at sign? It was the at sign. There we go. Yeah, see, that's what I wanted. The closer they are together, the peaks, the slower it seems to go across the screen. If you look closely, it is going across that. Anyway, enough of that, mad Commodore, enough of that, mate. I can't see for shit today. I thought you said the disk drive was fast. It's fucking fast, mate. It's not my fault half the BBC Micro games are only about fucking 16k of actual code to load in. The rest of it is variable space. Nah, we're not doing any more of those wave things. Right, like California games, I have to find a real copy of the game with the instructions, and that's how I'm going to play that. I don't see any point in me trying to play California games. So, and I'm having a bit of problem with the Epix directory. A lot of their later games are multi-load disc games, and of course the crackers, being the 1mm cocksuckers that they are, they don't remove the fucking weird loading routines and replace them with a standard one, so you can file copy everything easily. It's a bit like the difference between regular X copy mode and what was the other one? Was it Nibble? Yes. You know, I think they should all go back now and make all these games they cracked and destroyed the home computer industry, which some of them deserve to be destroyed. People like Gary Bracey, that smarmy cocksucker who started US Gold, I think is even worse than Gary Bracey. I couldn't actually tell you which is worse, Ocean or US Gold. I know Amiga games were shit by both, more often than not, and fucking Activision as well. Let's see, I can't remember who did Turbo Outrun, I think that was US Gold. So we've got Power Drift, Galaxy Force, Afterburner. Did Activision do any more of those Sega Superscalers? They're all shit anyway. Oh, it's funny, some prick on EAB was like, I know it's you, why don't you tell us what a great conversion Super Hang-On was next? I was like, fuck you. Anyway, I only went on there, created another account, just so that I could find like a scanned copy of something, and I thought that's the best place to ask. So, plus it took them 3 days to approve the account. One of the moderators has actually viewed my profile on there. Only 2 people, that prick. Obviously I'm not going to put anything on my profile. And my location is dual nationality, mate. So the county that I put there for where I live, it exists in America and England. So if I really wanted to go on there in a different name, obviously, I would only ever do that using the VPN set to, like, I don't know, fucking Luxembourg or something. There's only 6 countries you can pick that are free. Russia's one. They might block me based on the fact that they're a bit OTT about stopping slammers. Yeah, I really need to fix the other C64. Have we done our 10 minutes of bollocks? Ooh, spot on. It's exactly 10 minutes now. Serious Software. I used to have an eBay account called Seriously Serious. That's the one where Norman Cook, aka Fatboy Slim, the musician, he bought about 8 DVDs off me. He was a real fanatic about getting into the retro scene. This was about 15 years ago. And I looked at his thing, and his email address was something at normancook.com, and I was like, okay then. I was like, yeah, is that the Norman Cook? Who would have their own fucking website if they're not important or anything? So I did, and it was like, it's Fatboy Slim, and I'm like, so he bought like an Oric one thing that I set up, and Thompson, MO5, Texas Instruments, because I made all my emulators, so if you back them up on DVD, you could still just double click on the DVDs, because I had like loads of different computers. So if you wanted to put it on a laptop, like, or if you wanted to use it on the works laptop that I used to have, then obviously it takes up no space. There's no antivirus check that's going to fail. Nothing like that is going to happen. So yeah, but basically I used to sell them on eBay, and that was the thing. It was like, well, my ones, you don't need to actually copy anything off to the DVDs. You don't sell them with fancy covers or anything. And yeah, it was like, have you got any more? And I was like, I've got loads actually. It was like, whatever you want. So he gave me a list of some other machines he was interested in. He's probably worked out how to use like the emulator on, something like on the C64. That's very easy to use. If you just want to like quickly download a game, like tape or disc file, and the emulator, it just works. Everything's in there. He might have bought an Atari ST one, although that's fairly easy to use. And he definitely bought an Amiga one, but the other one was like all obscure systems. Memotech MTX. That was such a bastard emulator. And I lost all the work I did on that. This is an unofficial title page, by the way. This is a great game, if it's the one I'm thinking of. No, because we got the him. Dun dun dun. What's his name? Dom DeLuise. High school trainer. I'm going to say trainer, so I can say no, because sometimes when you do the high school, no. We'll do it exactly as it was. This is a very early game, and quite accurately depicting at how shit the world's oceans have become with this brown colour. These people knew what they were talking about, mate. I put the volume down, didn't I? You're lucky, the volume buttons still work. Those classic sound effects. These sound effects are so ubiquitous on the C64. Oh, yeah, I thought you could fire diagonally, but it appears you can't. No, because even when you're there on the edge of the waves, so it's an interesting take on Galaxia. It's not a bad game, and you can fly through the debris. That's correct. John Dykstra taught us that in the 70s. Oh man. Very early game. I think it's 83 or 84, is it? If it isn't, it looks like it. You cheeky monkey, come here. Yeah, well, I've done a wave, so that counts as... What the hell's a boat swaying? And it's just more of the same, but there's mines now that's changed their depth, so they end up bobbing up and down. So, well, technically, if you think about it, that's simulating the mine bobbing up and down. They're just moving the camera. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I did this. Didn't I do this thing with a massive truck with like 8 sprites or something, maybe 6, and there's like a white background. Oh man, the waves are pushing me there, so effectively it halves your speed going down. And yeah, I did like trees going down the side in Petsky graphics. See, that's interesting. You can move somewhere else. Probably the most relaxing shoot 'em up. Relaxing shoot 'em up. It's hard to judge the volume because I'm getting the traffic noise, which is putting me off. Oh, my mum said to me I should sell my house and buy a smaller one. I was like, I don't think so, mate. That's a good game. Don't really want to play 64 games, but it's too hot in this room to have the projector on. If I put the projector on now, within an hour it's going to be too hot. So I'm going to be like, well, I suppose I could go and play some ColecoVision. Thing that's holding me up with doing more ColecoVision videos is I want to play Donkey Kong. I've only got the loose ColecoVision, which works fine. Everything works fine on it. And therefore I don't have Donkey Kong. And one of the reasons why I bought a ColecoVision for 40 or 50 quid, I think it was 40 quid, was basically to actually play Donkey Kong again. Because by 1985, few arcades actually had a Donkey Kong machine. There was like, they're bringing in new stuff all the time, so... Ooh, I haven't played Man Cave yet, but basically yesterday I did the Grandslam directory, which I thought I'd done. Let's just do alphabetical sort. It's easier, mate. It's easier. No, I think I'm going to get the hi-fi back up onto the table, so let me know if you want to see that, because it does take up a lot of space on the table. But I think I want to hear the SIDs. So actually we're going to have to find the cables I use for that. And we'll be having to use the bread bin. Yeah, Grandslam. Stop chirping, Mad Commodore. But yeah, I want to listen to Light Force. Well, I might even play it, but I'll probably just listen to the SID, and the TV speakers are not really going to do it justice, so it's one of my favourite tracks. And the last 30 or 45 seconds are absolutely fucked, even on the latest version of Play SID that you can use with voice. It just goes all screwy, yeah, it just don't work. It's like a broken SID. So SID emulation at its best, which requires about 1.5 gigahertz of 64-bit CPU. That's what I'm basing on how much slower it goes when you warp up the bastard thing in the emulator with that turned on to maximum accuracy. Is like a 5 or 10% broken 6581. 8580 it probably emulates that easier, but I don't like the 8580 SID, mate. Let's try City Survivor. Now these are all from the game-based archive, which I need to back up. Amazingly, I couldn't find where it was. and then after I found it, I realised I've only got one copy of it, and I'd already tried to find it to save myself searching for it to download again, and I couldn't. So this is just a zip file with all the games from GameBase. I think the screenshots as well. On archive.org you have to download like an entire ISO and then get the files out the ISO. It's not useful. That's great if you want the complete collection and you got like, you know, 12 or 15 gig, whatever it is, spare on the machine. But on my 1 terabyte hard drive, I think I've only got 40 gig left. 40 gig! Might as well be 40 meg. There we go, that's okay. It's going to be like a 16k game or something, I reckon. Don't worry, I'll remember to put the curtains back. Yeah, we had a little accident. Bruised a bit of skin and ripped a bit off, just a tiny single layer off my elbow, so that's exactly probably how it was if I got this game in 1983. You don't learn how to do all those cool BMX stunts, mate. You don't fall off your bike at least once a day. Oh, there's no crack draw or anything. That music, Popcorn, right? I first heard that on the Amiga, and my brother-in-law is about 11 years older than me. Obviously, he's older generation. He said to me, that's a great tune. That's what he said. I was trying to remember exactly how he worded it, and I was like, really? Really? But I went back many decades later and watched the actual original version of Popcorn from, I think it's end of the 60s. And it's on Top of the Pops with Tony Blackburn. You can find it on YouTube as video clip. And there's a woman in there who's not only really hot, but she looks exactly like Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's like time travel. And actually you've got a guy dancing really badly who looks like Ian Lee from Thumb Bandits and Thumb Candy. He's been in other things, but I remember him from those. But anyway, so I've never heard a decent version of Popcorn that actually sounds like the original, with the cool analog synth modular big thing the size of a double cupboard that they used to have in them days. It's the most pathetic kick animation I've ever seen. He's like he's doing jumping jacks. Yay! I think that's what they're called. Alright, that's interesting. There's no sound in this game at all. It's like an Amstrad game. Yeah, half the best games on the Amstrad have got no sound, actually. Best converted, I don't mean they're the best actual games. So look, condition is going down, but can't go in. Can I go in there? You can. Fucking hell, this is interesting. Right, that needs more investigation. I need to find some instructions for that. Good luck, Mad Commodore. Well, thanks to everyone who turned up yesterday for the live premiere. It was actually almost broke the record yesterday, briefly. I think the record is 11, and we were up to 10 people watching yesterday. For a couple of times, for a brief moment. People probably clicked on it and then thought, oh nice, that Mad Commodore cunt, and then click off straight away. So but I don't really do it for the fame or the fortune via Patreon and super chats and all the other thing those fucking e-beggars use. Fucking annoying cunts. I wouldn't mind if they actually knew what they were talking about. Like that prick going on about how those printed pictures in the Graphicraft manual for the Amiga, they're scan lines. I'm like, they're not fucking scan lines, mate. You can't take a photograph of a 1986 CRT tube and have perfectly straight lines, not even if it's a Trinitron. You either get cylindrical distortion, which is the Trinitron, because it's always been vertically flat, or you get the goldfish bowl effect, aka punch on your pixel art program. That's actually why I got banned from EAB. Anyway, I saw Edward James Olmos in Starsky and Hutch yesterday. He was in season 2 before Tubbs. Philip Michael Thomas from Miami Vice fame. He wasn't in it very long. I can't remember what the episode is called. It's very weird. They have very weird episode names. Yes, I wasn't lying. Grandslam is the actual... Oh, Die Hard 2 looked interesting. Now, I have checked all these games to make sure they work with Vice with True Drive emulation turned off. So I had to... pretty much there was 5 that were already as disk images, and if you get that in the game base archive, you know that means they're not going to fucking work with the SD to AC. So you're kind of prepared. Control your anger. Now the Emperor told me to use my anger. Anyway, like I said. So I did have to go on CSDB or C64.com and other places. Planet Emu is another one that sometimes helps out. Oh, we didn't play Astro Panic yesterday, and I can't remember what company Astro Blitz was. Ah, this is nice music. Never mind the sampled drums. You couldn't get this noise on the AY chip. Isn't it funny? It does sound a bit Miami Vicey. Actually, season 5 of Miami Vice, right? The music is not by Jan Hammer. And if he's had a sex change, you can call him Jan Hammer now. Yeah! Yeah, but I don't think he's had a sex change. He's too old, mate. Yeah, I'm really... Well, alright, let's just say I'm never really impressed by any of the graphical stuff on these Cracktros. But sometimes you do find like a tune, it's like, wow, that's a tune I really like. If I'd bought a shit Mastertronic game in 1984-85 with that sort of music for like 2-3 quid, Last V8 was £3. Mastertronic added dimension, sir. Now the thing is, I've lost my actual reading glasses. Never mind the CRT glasses. And I've just found the reading glasses. They were behind the C64. Oh, actually, when I was watching, I think it was Miami Vice. That's the only 70s thing I've been watching lately. Although I could be wrong. I watch a lot of old shit. Actually, I don't think it was Starsky and Hutch. Did I just say Miami Vice? I think I did. I meant Starsky and Hutch. They're very similar, actually. Yeah, I don't want any train options on, actually. If you want to see the end, I hate that, because you go, yes, 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 and you don't notice that, and then you see the end, and you might not want to see the end. You might want to go through the whole thing with cheese. Right, Commodore to skip level, and control to select guns. Alright then. So, we want no for that. I can't remember what the music's like in Die Hard 2, but I don't think it's like this. Better not lose this memory card. Been smoking too much when I play these games. Should be set to, you see, it's not set to joystick. You know it's a shit game already. Alright, maybe shit is a bit harsh, but it's certainly not going to be the best C64 game of the year. Stage 1, in the luggage hall, terrorists wreak havoc. Oh, fucking hell. Give me a chance, mate. Alright, mate. Right, the green light is on. See, when I'm testing these on the SD to IC, it's in warp mode with the sound disabled. So it runs at like 10,000%. Ah, right. I don't think you should really do dithering in multicolour mode. I can see my health going down. Yeah, I'm using the Competition Pro, and the thing is the actual joystick part of the Competition Pro joystick I've got here is still a problem. That also wasn't as good as the zip stick. Ooh. I like this machine gun. I can see why Arnold Schwarzenegger was so happy in his films. Can I shoot these things? Well, I can shoot. Alright, we're getting the health up slowly. Nah. So I'm selecting the guns, which he mentioned as part of the trainer, but now I haven't got, it doesn't top up the actual bullets. I'm sure there was an option for it. We actually done the level. So anyways, so that's what that level looks like. That's not bad actually. The graphics are okay. The control is as good as it's going to be. Terrorists have got cut radio. Ah, bloody hell. Why can't you leave that picture on while it's loading? I know why you can't. Don't answer in the comments. Say something else, like, what flavour trifle do you like? Yeah, there you go. So I think the whole game is like this actually. I presume we're going to need bullets. don't think I can shoot them things, whatever they are that they're from. It's quite generous with the health. So someone has actually play tested this and said, yeah, it's a bit difficult, mate. I love this gun. Check out that fucking gun. Oh, that's a good gun. Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. Is that a bazooka? Uzi 9mm. Pulse rifle in the 900mW range. Hey, pal, just what we got here. Just what you see. I haven't seen Terminator for ages. And actually, I haven't seen Mad Max 1 or 2 for like well over a decade, maybe 2 decades. But it's too hot to have the projector on. I'll probably forget that later, so. Oh yeah, I've got to do that thing with that game with the trees and do a Shadowfax mock-up. We get continue, so let's see if the rest of the game is like this. 36 minutes. I'm conscious of time. Sounds like a cheap motel with all the cars going up and down the road. I tell you, mate. When the green light is on, maybe it's it's more of the same. So really, it's like the entire game is sort of like Operation Wolf, which I don't think is. This is the Super Nintendo School of Game Design. We just got the license to Ren and Stimpy, make a platform game. We just got the license to Star Wars, make it obscurely, fucking obstinately, sorry, not obscurely, difficult and obtuse, annoying fucking platform game. We just got the license for a Pepsi game. Platform game. It's the same thing over and over. So if you like that kind of thing, I think it's possibly better than Operation Wolf on the C64. There's two things I hate. I hate it when they've been shaved, which is a famous Bill Paxton quote from Near Dark, very stylish vampire movie. Great for the summer with air conditioning. On the projector. But the other thing I hate is Operation Wolf on the Amiga. It's such a shit show. It runs at like 15 frames per second and all he's doing is moving some glitter objects and scrolling the screen. It's like, fuck you. If you don't know how to code, why are you fucking making games? But you can just as easily blame the arcade manufacturer who made it, because they didn't exactly turn around and say, hey man, this thing can do 50 frames per second scrolling, what is this shit? But they don't, you see. They never do. Peter Beardsley's International Soccer. Running Man was one which is a shit game, and you got to try like fucking 6 or 10 different craps until you find one that does actually work with the SD to AC. Highly annoying, because all I'm going to do is load it up, and a minute later you'll hear me saying next, and it's a lot of effort. You spend 10 times more effort finding a working version for the SD to IEC. So anyway, this is Peter Beardsley's International Soccer, and it looks nothing like the C64 one, but it is a similar sort of viewpoint. So Poland. Well, I remember this bit because I was thinking, is it going to draw this? Base relief. Okay, this is no good now. Okay, god damn you. God damn you. What is it with fucking football games and shit menus? What is it? This is not the first time that this has happened. We had that one on the Master System by US Gold, and it's actually a pretty good football game, but Jesus Christ, just to fucking work out how to actually start a 1 player or 2 player regular game. And then you got, you know, Emlyn Hughes. There was another one on the C64. And this one as well. Oh, you fucking bastard. Fucking bastard. Ooh. Speaking of Steptoe and Son, someone has combined Terminator with Steptoe and Son. You know, obviously they've just like green screened the bastard, photoshopped out the backgrounds, put him on there. So this is great. We're going to have to go to zip stick now. Actually, I'll plug the zip stick because I think port 1 does something. I remember that was a thing. I had to swap joystick ports to actually start playing the game. But you saw all the characters moving, so I don't think we actually started an actual genuine game. That was more like that Football Manager, absolute wank of a game style football game. Yeah, I think it's the loading times that make me smoke. It's a good thing I was a kid when the C64 come out. I only had a tape deck with it. Right, okay. I'm sure that's what I selected. I'm the one in purple, if you can make that sort of colour choice. Differentiation. Right, it doesn't do what the VCS version does, which is, yeah, pressing fire button when you ain't got the ball doesn't change the player that you control, so you're 100% relying on the AI, and they're much better at you at taking the ball possession. See, why are my blokes not there? Enough with the fucking throw-ins, and the pitch is not wide enough. See, that's goal kick, right? Okay. Ah, it's a shit game. Why didn't you buy International Soccer? Exactly, it's like Arkanoid, right? Well, actually, it's not exactly like Arkanoid, because Arkanoid is not extremely blocky like International Soccer. But as far as actual gameplay goes, International Soccer, the 1983 game, for me is the best football game on the C64. For that viewpoint, obviously. There are a couple of top-down ones that play better than Sensible Soccer, but we won't get into how shit Sensible Software were on the Amiga when they first started out. In fact, there's a golf game called Major Title, I think it's called, and there's also a sequel to it. which is sort of like what I would expect a golf game to look like on the Amiga 1000. Big bold graphics, lovely pixel art. How many minute? 45, sir. 45. I don't play more football games. You know, I got that, and that. Let's see. Hunt for Red October, the arcade game. That's definitely the arcade game. Yeah, does this mean there's no trainer options on it? Because I don't think we're in alphabetical mode, so. First file on the disk is the one that auto boots it, that's why you put it there. Oh, I did a Buck Rogers Starfighter sprite. Now, everything about it is fully C64 legal, except it's not in a double width multicolour pixel mode. So it is only 3 colours. It will fit in the width of 2 sprites, I believe. Okay, well, loads of intros. Okay, so. After all this is where they usually fail, so I think I may have moved the camera a little bit, or it might not be working. There's no way to know. I have to wait now, and while I'm waiting for the C64 to do something, oh, I got a tape copy of Delta, like the Kicks release. It's in mint condition actually, but I've mixed up the tape decks. I found another tape deck, this was ages ago, which kind of looked even more minty fresh than the one that I found that loaded most of the games that didn't load before. And so I don't know now if I can load anything. I think we've got a copy of Pit Stop 2 here as well. No, that's the CD case. There's just no space here at the moment. Yeah, this ain't gonna fucking work, is it? How the fuck has Pit Stop 2 got out? Pit Stop 2 is there. We've called you. Oh, actually, I've got a copy of Times of Law here, ain't I? Yeah, and what's this one on the top? Little computer. Peeps. Yeah, this ain't gonna fucking work. It's not loading anything. There you go, you heard me. I tried every possible thing. I'll go the extra few feet for my channel. Not a mile. I can't walk a mile. You're joking, mate. Fucking nearly pass out after doing work in the house. I'm such an unhealthy bastard. And to get into the room where all the double cassettes are, there's about 35 of them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure none of the cats get in there. Do fancy playing California games actually. It is the weather for it. So I can't remember if I downloaded the arcade Hunt for Red October game first or second. It's not even that good. It's got 4 colour fucking backgrounds and shit fucking palette choices, so pretty much like a modern £50 C64 homebrew, which they make for cartridges on purpose actually. So now the thing is, there are some games where there's an easy flash release, or just a plain cartridge image. And they would come in useful, but useful enough to pay like 35-40 quid. I'd get more use out of a Tapuino. However, the US release of Congo Bongo on disc only, which is a completely different version of Congo Bongo on the C64 by Sega. Can't remember who else did it, but that is actually really nice. That's a game I would like to be able to play on a real C64, but I don't know if there's an easy flash release for that. I think that was it. Yeah, someone on CSDB put the easy flash version of the tape version up on CSDB, and someone said, "Why are you doing this version?" Probably meaning that, you know, SD to IAC runs a tape version fine. So I don't know if this is the arcade game or I think this is the yeah, this is not the arcade game, mate. This is a kind of game that you wouldn't actually want to do on YouTube unless you actually knew exactly what you were doing. Yeah, I'm just like, a monkey could play this game. So old style gaping. I love how I made up these words for people. 8-bit goit. Old style gaping. The usual nostalgia turd. Who are the other ones that really annoy me? Dopes Games, which is Slopes Games. Might as well stop the camera and start it again. That is an interesting one we could try. Nick Faldo's Championship Golf. This was another one I had to find different versions of. Not the game-based one. Game-based is really for use with the entire game-based database suite of programs. It's not really designed to be used with an SD to IEC. I get that, however, they're not the only ones. CSDB, there's no way that I know of to search for a game that is SD to IEC compatible. Yeah, I don't like that tune. Interesting sound effects, but I believe that's a Hubbard tune. Yeah, so we had the Carver brothers, and they did the excellent leaderboard, which is a Mode 1 piece of shit for the first one, I think, on the Amstrad. But if you had the Atari 800, a superior computer to the Amstrad, for the type of games I like. Games for people who are not limp-wristed. Like my CPC traitor mate and that shitty isometric game. What's it called? Get Dexter. Fucking Crafton and Zunk. Can't remember if I got Get Dexter 2 for the Atari ST. I definitely got the first one. I don't even know if it come out for the Amiga. So we're out of cola. I'm obviously not smoking. Yeah, I can't have this tobacco running out today, you see, because I can't go to the shops and get COVID and then go and visit my parents and kill them. That's not my style, man. Maybe there's a few people I wish very ill fortune on. May the fleas from 1,000 camels infest your armpits. That was a classic one when I was a kid. Dry as an Arab stick flop, that was another one. Well, I've been more worried about the smell than the moisture. I don't think it's going to load, even though the green light is on for the SD to IEC. It's a shame because I don't get to rip it a new one. Now, oh, something's happened. There's no sound, but something happened in it. Right, let's close the windows, ready for the arrival of Sirloin. Not Sirloin, don't eat him, it's my cat mate. That's fucking rude. Very rude if you eat someone's cat. That's why I don't like the fucking Chinese. It's not even sunny, but it's actually hot today. That's the weird thing about the UK. You can have cloudy hot days and you can have sunny but not hot in the house days. This is going to be hot in other areas. Make sure all the windows are closed properly. There we go. Hey. The camera. Oh no, we restarted the camera, otherwise this would have been perfect. Oh man, I dropped the filter on the floor. Blow the cat hairs off it. Go. Everything on the floor. Right, here we go. Ooh, one player stroke play. God, the carry-on team would have a fucking field day with this one, mate. Stroke play. Whoa, sounds like fuck. Actually, I think that was from Blackadder. Okay. We do get to use the crappy Competition Pro shaft. The shaft of it is shit. It's too stiff. But women like stiff shafts. Right, I actually did new player. So I'll do exactly what I did before, which was 1. And I'll put mad. Which joystick port are we actually in? CPU player. Okay, I think for this kind of game it don't really matter what kind of joystick you use because it's really the fire buttons. If anything, the zipstick's worse. I'm suffering. Oh crap, can I fucking take a leaf out of the book of the old fucking demo coders, mate. I don't want to read all this shit, so there we go. So yeah, remember we've had leaderboard already on the C64 and Atari 8-bit computers, and that's all you really need to know. Right, okay. Well, I'm in the rough. Bit like my pubbing days, really. See, I can't tell where the fucking hole is, so this is no good, mate. This is typical. Ooh. Okay. Alright, you have to do all this bullshit. How do I change the fucking thing that is set for me? You have to press. What's going on now then? Ah, this is annoying. Just have a map there and let me get back on it, right? Amazing. I'm even further away than I was, even though I'm pointing at the fucking thing. Control method is idiotic. Graphics are worse than leaderboard. Nah, next. Fucking bullshit, mate. Now, see, the thing is, if I actually turn the camera off during these sessions of loading and stuff like that, the battery still gets wankered even faster. You end up with like less than an hour's worth of recorded video anyway, and then I have to stitch all the little bits together, which I have to do anyway, because you get 2 camera files with 1 battery charge, and I need to reduce the bit rate from these stupid MOV films, which are shit quality, but they're like fucking 4K resolution fucking Blu-ray rips, mate. Right, mate. It's so sad what's happened to Lucosa. He's refusing to do any of these, you know, like classic retro game reviews. I prefer his C64 reviews because I already know most Amiga games are badly made. There's something to moan about most of them. We'll try the 3rd version of Hunt for Red October, seeing as we're doing Grandslam at the moment. See, it's the thing, you can check them on Vice, but it's only about 90% accurate. There will still be games that load on Vice with drive emulation turned off, which I have as standard anyway. Maybe in the summer with my cheap air conditioning unit, if they've got any in stock tomorrow, I can learn to do some machine code programming. Because I won't want to do any work in the kitchen. Fucking audio extension. It's like a fucking oven in there, mate. Fucking break a sweat just pouring yourself a glass of ice cold water from the fridge, which I can't have anymore. I've got sensitive tooth. I'm a sensitive guy. I've got sensitive teeth, right. That's quite nice. Right, we get to use the Competition Pro with the microswitch 5 buttons, but the same shit shaft. Shit shaft! That's dirty anal. Shh! You know what, I've got the windows open so people walking by are hearing all this shit. I mean, who's that fucking nut job in that house? And why doesn't he paint his house a bit? And actually, I've done the front garden. Okay, it's on a time delay. He's not a user initiated exit to the next stage of the game engine. Not the actual thing. Right, I've got to close this window as well. And then we can get a Surlan in here. I like, they're not white cotton, they're beige actually, cream colour. So they look pre-yellowed anyway, which is good for a smoker. I've got to jump on this bastard thing. He fell onto the coning tower from too great a height. Oh, how do I go up and down? No bonus, okay. Energy 20%, that doesn't sound good to me. When I have 20% energy, it's probably diabetic coma time, I reckon. Take control of the Red October. At Murmansk, and navigate her through the perilous underwater canyons to rendezvous with the USS Dallas south of Greenland. Greenland is not green at all. It's pretty barren actually. It's probably not much better apart from the oxygen content in the atmosphere than some other planet. Oh, and temperature, obviously. You think Greenland is cold? You should try walking on Pluto, mate. Yeah, try it, mate. And fucking pull your finger out and start doing something with space propulsion technology that's actually better than it was fucking 60 years ago. I don't care if it's reusable and therefore makes a great fucking business opportunity, mate. I'm in it for the technology. SpaceX is the Renault Espace of the fucking space world, mate. There's nothing great about it. It's just an idea. Reusable rockets, yeah, they're cheaper, but is it gonna help you fucking build a Battlestar Galactica in orbit around the planet? What are those sperms doing on the screen? Is something Scott Brother obviously said many times, because he only bought an Amiga on the basis of the porno slideshows in ham mode. Ham mode. So the controls are about as enjoyable as actually using the fucking hell. Using the shaft way on this competition. Fucking, it's very short, that invincibility time. It should go on for a bit longer. It's like Nemesis with like no speed ups at all. It's too slow. So I hope one of these is a speed up. Get that worm drive going. The sperm's on the screen. I've got rapid fire on, why isn't it working? Oh, bollocks. You've got rapid fire built into the game, isn't it? Yeah. Like I said, the graphics are a bit shit anyway. Seems to be going even slower now. Oh, I must be invincibility. How long does that last? It's really slow. It's ridiculously slow. If ever a game needed a fucking speed up power up, immediately as soon as you come on the screen, it's not fucking Gradius, although it's pretty close to immediate. This does. It's shit. And the graphics are horrible. You've got fucking orange, green, I don't even know what that colour is. A fucking yellow? That's not yellow, is it? Well, you only got 16 colours in it. It could be grey. C64 palette is unfortunately a little bit warm, but you can actually adjust the C64 colour output. Certainly for the RF modulator. There's a couple of variable resistors, small pots. And if you adjust them, it adjusts the, one of them adjusts the gamma and the other adjusts the chroma. So, you know, you got to say, I doubt very much Commodore. Is that a fucking little fly or a little moth? I don't have food in this room anyway. It'd go off quickly because it's too hot in here, usually. I've done the Flintstones, I've done Handball Maradona, I've actually done most of these games before. Running Man is shit, so I don't really see the point. I've done Scramble Spirits, done Thunderbirds. It's another football game, let's try this. You know me and my football games, although I don't have any interest in real world football, and haven't done since I was like 7 years old or something. I do like a good footy game. There's two games that I'm always on a quest to find. A game like Star Raiders on other systems, which I've not found, although Sentinel is actually not bad. If I see a cheap copy of that, I'll buy it to have the instructions on hand. Cheaper than buying a printer, mate. But the other one is a soccer game on other systems, as good as international soccer. I haven't found one. that delay when your players turn round and it draws the animation of them turning round on whatchamacallit, Emlyn Hughes, that's really shit. I don't like that. That puts me right off, that does. Yeah, what are the other channels I'm supposed to be taking the piss out of? Top Twat Gaming, I think that was another one. His wife has a channel, and her name, it's not Lady Gaga, but it's Lady something. I'm sure it's something like that. Lady Eftigia. That's a very common Greek name. When did the camera move? Ah, bollocks. You probably didn't see any of that Hunt for Red October. Play single game. There we go. We get to use the rubbish shaft. So these are all multi-load as well. International Soccer did get a tape release. I believe it was CRL. I think it was 1986, 87. But by then the cartridge was probably only like 10 quid anyway. The cartridge in 1983 was only 15 quid. So I would have bought International Soccer if I didn't already have it as like a cartridge rip on tape. That's really a difference between the C64 and the Amiga. There's loads of cartridge games that you can play. Talking about games from the past. Without having to buy like a special cartridge, you can play them like there's disc and tape cracks, because they were back then. But on the VIC-20, that's not a thing. I've never got any of the tape cracks to work with Vice. I can only... So yeah, that's a bit of a shame. You'd think if you got like a 16K RAM stuck in there or something, cracks would work on it. Alright, I see, I think it's... Fixtures, yeah, whatever. There's no music, here we go. Actually looked a lot worse on the emulator, so... Am I controlling anyone? I am. I'm them. I think this joystick is rubbish for this game, but I think the game might actually be okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going the right way because they're trying to attack this goal. Extra long goal kick Pat Jennings style, that's important. I'm going to have to swap the joystick ports over actually. Hold down the fire button for more powerful shots. It's kind of like Micro Pro Soccer, although I think it's come out before that. Well, I nearly scored. It's a great football game, a great one. So, oh, it was me. I bounced it off him. Yeah, it's pretty good. I do like it. Small niggles, Jeremy Clarkson style. I mean, the ball, when it zooms up, it's not actually rotating, so they should have just left it as a plain white ball. Well, the goalie doesn't immediately pick up the ball and take possession, he just kicked it away. I didn't want to do that. Alright, that is goal kick. Maximum power for that goal kick. That's perfect, that is. I do like this, and these bits are actually light grey where they've drawn the grass. They look shit on the emulator. But on the real TV it does sort of look a bit like grass. Although if you're playing on this pitch, you'd probably say to the person in charge of cutting the grass, what the fuck you been doing, mate? Fucking drinking, smoking, fucking weed and jerking off all day? Obviously if the The Gardener's like 70 or something. I don't think that's going to... But you know, I think that's from GTA 4 or 5, I can't remember. It's one of the cutscenes. But you know me, I don't play GTA missions, only interested in the free roam mode. And there's no action replay cheats for anything above San Andreas. I'm pretty sure that is the last one. I don't think there's an action replay cheat disc for PS3 kind of thing. So we must be near the seaside because I can hear the waves. But the moon must also be out of orbit because, yeah, I think if I swap joysticks, we might actually be okay. So let's just disconnect this one. Put this in here. Right. Maximum firepower, although they seem to be a bit desperate for a goal. See, they're so desperate for a goal. Yeah, see, they're like grey. Ah, come on, they take possession a bit too easily. I don't like that. I'm getting worse. Right, that is a good football game. The camera's going to run out, and I'm hoping to try loading up bit of Hunt for Red October because I knocked the camera over. I want you to see how shit it is. Cola number 7, since I bought them, not today. And it's the last one on the list when the list is non-alphabetical. There you go. That scrolls down as fast as you like there, mate. Yeah, it's that one there. So it takes a bit of time to load. The camera's still fucking out of place. Why is the camera moved? Why does it have to be like